You know, in the world of cigars and whiskey, there are few combinations that can rival the sheer pleasure and indulgence of what I am bringing you today. I am pairing a Kristoff Ligero Maduro Robusto with, I'm very excited about this, Penelope Cask Bourbon, Rosé Cask Bourbon. Sorry, you have to put the little at the end of it, Rosé. So, as I said, there's few things that I think can match the kind of indulgence we're about to take part in. The marriage of these two just exquisite products creates an experience that, you know, transcends the ordinary. This elevates your senses to new heights, and the rich and complex flavors and aromas that this pairing puts together are truly a match made in heaven. Now, the Kristoff Ligero Maduro is a masterpiece in its own right. For those of you on live stream, I'll show it to you again. Oh, and this is a little different cigar than what I usually have. This is a closed foot, and it has a pigtail. So, but it is handcrafted with just the finest skilled artisans and only the best tobaccos. It boasts, as you can see on the live stream, a very dark and oily Maduro wrapper that just hints of the bold character that I know it's about to bring out. Now, the Ligero tobacco that is used on this stick, it has a complexity and strength that makes it the perfect full-bodied experience to pair with the rosé cask finish. Now, Ligero, for those of you that may be new to the cigar world, Ligero is the leaves that are up near the top of the plant. They get the most sunlight, and they are generally the most flavorful. So I am really looking forward to getting this pairing fired off here. Now enter Penelope Rosé Cask Whiskey Bourbon. This is an exceptional spirit in its own right that complements, I think, the robustness, I about said the Robusto, the robustness of the Kristoff Ligero Maduro cigar just flawlessly. Yeah, it is, when you're dealing with some of these, all these different terms in the cigar and spirit world, you end up getting tongue-tied. Now, this small batch bourbon undergoes a unique finishing process. It is finished aged in Grenache, and I may be mispronouncing that, wine casks, and that imparts a delicate floral note and subtle sweetness to the profile. The result is just a harmonious fusion of flavors that will dance on your palate. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and right after this, we are going to pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toasting. Now, Penelope Rosé Cask Finish. Show it to you again there on the live stream. It is a beautiful bottle. It has a rose etched onto the bottle. Very, I'll try and describe this for those of you on the audio only. A very, very small and simple label. The large P and rose etched into the glass, and something that is I have never seen before in another bottle is that it comes with a glass stopper as opposed to the cork or synthetic. I just noticed that as I was getting ready to take the picture before we came on here, and I was like, wow, I hadn't even noticed that. All right, but the Penelope Rosé Cask, this is a straight bourbon. It is a non-age statement, but it is a blend of 3 and 4 year old bourbons, and then it is finished aged in the rosé casks. The mash bill is 75% corn, 15% wheat, 7% rye, and then 3% malted barley. It is 47% alcohol by volume, so 94 proof. let's go ahead and open it up and take a whiff. Sorry, it's still a little chilly out here, and my fingers are not wanting to work exactly right. Sorry, this is taking longer than it should. But hey, you know, that's such as it is when you're live, right? You can't, I actually intended on cutting this band before we came on, but I didn't. So, wow, that is in there. There it comes. That is, I will tell you, that is a very tight seal on this cork. Oh, yeah, okay. That is something I would not have expected, but we're going to push on. And as tight as it was in there, there was no cork pop. I think it's a neat idea, but wow, that was extremely tough to get out. And a little bit harder to get in too. That's what she said. All right, now, as those of you on the live stream can tell, this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful spirit. It's got pretty good legs on it. The color is just a beautiful kind of medium to edging into dark golden with just a hint of maybe a pink coming from the finished cask aging and the rosé casks. It's a very beautiful spirit. Now on the nose, I think what I get, to me, kind of the most out of the nose on this is maybe floral. There's hints of honey and vanilla, and maybe some oak and caramel. But it's very interesting that really what you pick up most on the nose is the floral. It's very floral forward. All right, let's give it a try. It sets on your tongue really well. It's not too thin, but it's not too thick. It does provide just a hair of a coat across your tongue. I may be making a whole lot of noises, but I'm just trying to make sure I get this right. I get quite a bit of pepper. It kind of overtakes, but I think before we get to the pepper, there's some vanilla and maybe a little cocoa. And then slides into quite a bit of pepper. And then finally, you have kind of a summer fruits, maybe apples, pears, that kind of thing, as the pepper kind of dies away. So it's very, I know I didn't say a lot of different things, but it is rather complex in the way that all the flavors are presented when you first take your drink. That is a very good bourbon. I don't know if you can see it on the live stream. So I hold the Glencairn up there very, very close because it does have really, really good legs. Really good legs on that spirit. Now, let's get to the cigar. The Kristoff Ligero Maduro. This Kristoff, they've been around since about 2004, 2005, and they now boast more than a dozen different blends. This particular stick has a Brazilian Maduro wrapper with a Cuban seed Dominican binder and a blend of Cuban seed, Dominican, and Honduran tobaccos. This particular stick is the Robusto, which for Kristoff is 5.5 by 54 on the ring gauge. Now, visually, and fortunately, while it's still cloudy today here in Texas, there's a little more sun than there has been. Hang on just a second. We're going to make a public service announcement. Hang on just a second. I need a little something going here. Sorry. I know this is not what y'all have signed on for here, but I have to stop just momentarily while I get just a little bit of music going on here. Anyway, not working. Imagine that. I have problems with electronics. I always tell my wife that there is some sort of electromagnetic field that I give off, that if there's any technology around, if it's going to have a problem, it's going to have a problem when I walk in the door. Anyway, the Maduro is, like really dark Maduro, dark chocolate brown, and even some malting that's even darker. I do get a little bit of tooth. It has moderate veining, and the veining that it does have, I'll hold that up to the camera again, is pretty pronounced. Tight, yet visible seams. The pigtail cap is extremely large. I'll hold that up to the camera. And it has a closed foot. Now on the nose, I get earth, cocoa. I get a little bit of sugary sweetness. There's cedar in there. There's some florals in it. And also just a hint of cherry. I think this is, if you've looked at my channel here in the last 18 hours, pretty much on all the social media platforms, I think except YouTube, I did a just kind of an impromptu live stream yesterday while I smoked one of these, just hanging out here on the back porch. And so there's some of you that are probably already know a little bit about this cigar, if you didn't know about it before yesterday. All right. Today, I just got I got out of the drawer my Cigars V cutter, but as usual, I am sporting my Rocky Patel Envoy 5-torch lighter. I love that lighter. I take it with me everywhere. So let's go ahead and fire it up. I do like it a little better now that I've kind of changed the order in which I do things. I start with the spirit first. A lot of smoke coming off of this stick. Copious amounts of smoke. This rivals Drew Estates in their copious amounts of smoke. All right, now off the light, I got quite a bit of dark chocolate, got some pepper, pick up some coffee beans, maybe some fresh ground coffee, a little bit of earth, and some nice hints of leather there in the background. Let's try them together. I know I slipped one in there on you, but I'm going to concentrate on it this time. All right. Well, now when you enjoy these together, these two indulgences create just it's kind of an unparalleled sensory experience. I mean, the nose, the taste buds, even visually with the amount of smoke that comes off the stick. As you like take your first sip of the Penelope Rosé cask, and then take a draw on the Kristoff cigar, or if you do that vice versa, you're kind of met with an explosion of flavors in your mouth, and they kind of intertwine just pretty much effortlessly. The smoky richness of the cigar mingles well with those kind of fruity undertones of the whiskey, and just create an absolute symphony for your taste buds. The kind of the cocoa notes that are present in both give off kind of a harmony that intertwine on your palate. Each time you take a puff of this Kristoff cigar, I'm gonna take another one while I'm talking. It just enhances the undertones and vanilla and maybe some caramel of the whiskey, and then the floral essence in the whiskey elevates the earthiness in the cigar's palate. It is truly just kind of a delicate balance that each one only enhances the other a little more. And even over and above that, it extends really kind of beyond the flavors. They do share a kind of a common thread that they are both just meticulously crafted and embody the passion and the dedication and the artistry that goes into each offering. I mean, each puff of the cigar and each sip of the whiskey kind of tells a story. I mean, they are products of time-honored traditions that have been handed down through generations. The Penelope is a fairly new whiskey on the market, relatively speaking, and this is the first time I've had Penelope, and it is really, really good. And the cigar it's powerful, but it's not overpowering. It's bold without slapping you in the face. It's like right now, I don't even realize that I have been smoking a cigar or sipping whiskey, because the flavors have just died away. I had that time of enjoyment, and then they just went away. Of course, I'm sitting here talking to you, but yeah, this is this is just a wonderful experience so far. We're going to see how it goes, though. Go ahead and take a couple more puffs here. Yeah, get a little pepper on the retro inhale. Man, this Kristoff, I'd never had these before, and they are really, really good. The one that I had yesterday, it was pretty much a flawless burn. I know I stayed on live stream the whole time. So if you've watched that, you already kind of know what's going on here. But if you haven't, there is notes of dark chocolate and pepper and coffee beans or ground coffee. It's got kind of an earthiness to it and some hints of leather. And that Penelope, the rosé cask, it does have the subtle impartations of the rosé cask that it's finished aged in, but it's not too much, but it's not too little. Wonderful. And I know some of this I've been repeating. Those of you on listening to the audio, I'm sorry, but there are people coming on and dropping off on the live stream, so I have to kind of repeat some of the things I say just so everybody catches up. But for those of you on the audio, I am going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and then I will come back and give you folks an update. Howdy, Stoners. I am back. Man, the first thing shut up. I hate hecklers. The first thing I have to say is, I know you can't see it if you watch the live stream recording that I did for the first half, and I live streamed for almost an hour. So y'all need to catch up. Y'all need to catch the live streams when I do them. I want to try to do them at a like a regular time, and I announced this morning. Shut up. This is a professional show, damn it. I sent out on all social media that I was going to be live streaming at 2 Central Time. So I'm going to try and do that. It may not be 2 o'clock all the time, but I'm going to try to do give you 3 or 4 hours notice. So if you're, I'm going to shoot that bastard. If I lived in the country, I would. But right now, I have a cigar that is about halfway smoked, and I still have the ash on it. It has not dropped yet. This is an exceptionally well-created cigar. I mean, the craft work on it is exceptional, and for the price I paid, wow, can't believe it. But now let's get on to how these went together for the first half. There's kind of a ritualistic nature that goes into pairing a cigar with a spirit. I'm not just talking about just sitting on your back porch smoking a cigar. I mean, if you're really thinking about, I want to try these and see how well they go together. There's something to it. And as you sit back in your favorite chair, like I've got a chair here on the patio, that's the same chair I always sit in, and son of a bitch. So as you sit back in your favorite chair, and you've got your Glencairn glass or maybe your old-fashioned glass, and you're kind of giving it a little swirl, and you're seeing this beautiful Penelope rosé cask whiskey kind of circling around in your glass and the legs hanging onto it, and you're savoring those flavors with the savors that come off, the flavors that come off of the Kristoff Ligero Maduro cigar. It's just almost like time standing still. I actually looked up at the live stream a while ago, and I'm like, shit, I've been doing this for nearly an hour. I need to let these people go. But it's just like the stresses of the day or the week, they just kind of melt away. They kind of fade out, and you just really immerse yourself in the moment that you're having, enjoying your Penelope rosé cask straight bourbon and your Kristoff Ligero Maduro. Even a crow cawing in the background, it finds it's hard to get you ticked off. But as we pass the halfway mark, the stick is offering caramel and cocoa and cherries and some spice and some earth and leather. It is pairing very well with the Penelope, with its own notes of vanilla and cocoa and kind of summery fruits, pears and apples. It is truly a really, really great experience. I am extremely happy with this particular pairing. As I take a couple of more puffs off the cigar, and it's still, as in when I first lit it, it is still a really great smoke monster. It is putting off copious amounts of smoke. And just intermingles perfectly with the complex notes off the Kristoff as it dances across your tongue. I mean, you get some sweet notes, you get some savory notes, you get a little bit of spice. Man, it is just, I don't even know how else to describe it. I'm working on my words, trying to expand my vocabulary. I was raised in the country we had words like mayonnaise. Like, mayonnaise, a bunch of people listening to me today. Or mom and them. Or how's your mom and them? Anyway, I've kind of told you how this is going. Like I said, I haven't dropped ash yet, and so I've got half the cigar sticking out here with ash. That is just beautiful white, salt and pepper stained ash. It is kind of starting to get a little crook in it. I have a feeling it's going to drop here pretty soon, but I've got 2 inches of ash, so it's doing very well. I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the band, and then I will come back and give you my final thoughts. Hey Stoners, I am back. This pairing did not disappoint. The flavor profile was more complex and balanced than I really expected it to be. The draw is pretty much flawless on the stick. It gives you a little resistance, not too much, but it's not so easy that you end up overdrawing and could potentially make yourself sick. It is a slow burning cigar. It's 5.5 inch by 54, and it took me a little over an hour, like hour 15 or so, to smoke it. So, you do have to. It lends itself to the impeccable construction that went into the stick. And that just, it really shines out on how long it takes you to smoke it and how long I held ash on it before I dropped it. I went ahead and dropped it because it was kind of getting that bent carrot, if you know the commercials, and I was afraid it was going to drop off on my equipment. So I went ahead and tapped it off at about maybe a little more than 2 inches of ash. The stick boasted just some really long and savory finish notes of like leather and coffee bean and black pepper and some earthiness in there. The Penelope rosé cask. I mean, wow. This is an excellent spirit that paired very well with this Kristoff cigar. The vanilla and the cocoa and the fruit were very indulgent and refreshing, and they really enhanced the smoke. I was very pleased with this bourbon, and will be venturing more into. Sorry, I've been at this a while now. My tongue's getting tied. Venturing, into more of Penelope's offerings, because this is the only one I've ever had, and I'm extremely impressed with it. I was going to, because I test smoked the Kristoff yesterday, and I was going to give it about an 85, but I was pairing it. I was just drinking a Yinling Flight, their ultralight beer, and smoking the cigar. And I mean, it was all right. I don't generally pair beer and cigars, but I was sitting out here. I really wasn't wanting any bourbon at the time, or scotch or anything, so I just grabbed a beer. And but when I paired this with this Penelope, I'm like, that has enhanced the rating on the cigar. And I was going to give it an 85 matchsticks, but I would give it an 89. It's a very, very good cigar. And it came in at a very affordable price. The Penelope Rosé Cask, I would give it a 91. whiskey stones. I was really impressed with the profile, the complex palate, the wonderful nose it had on it. It's just an exceptional spirit. I really enjoyed it. And that is all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this pairing as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Be sure to hit all the bells and whistles, like, subscribe, share, and notify. Share the snot out of it. The more you share, the bigger we get. And that way you and everybody can keep up when I drop new content. Visit our website, Sticks-n-Stonez.com, STICKS, the letter N, STONEZ.com. And that will get you links to our Amazon store where you can get Sticks-n-Stonez merchandise. Love to see people out in Sticks-n-Stonez merchandise. You can listen to older episodes. You can get links, the blog posts. I blog post about all different kinds of stuff, not just spirits and cigars. I even did one on the Boston Tea Party from the Revolutionary War. You can go out there and find all kinds of stuff that I blog post on. I try to make something for everybody. And you can go to our affiliate page and see the links to all of our affiliates that we're affiliated with. Fanatics.com. There's a link out there for them. You can go and whatever your favorite team is, whether it's college or pro, NBA, NCAA, NFL, all those letters, your team, I am very sure, will be out there. Unless it's like me and I had the Upper Iowa Fighting Peacocks. Brock, whatever they say. I loved Upper Iowa. It's a great school. You can't find their merchandise unless you're buying it in their store. And then Freedom Fatigues, which I'm wearing my Don't Tread on Me Freedom Fatigue shirt right now with the Gaston flag snake on it. You can get all kinds of patriotic wear from Freedom Fatigues. Click on that link. Takes you right out there to them. Use the code Sticks-n-Stonez 20 to get 20% off. And the Caliber Coffee, I used to own a coffee house. They have great coffee blends. Everything is named after bullets. So 22 caliber is their lightest roast. That's my favorite. 9 millimeters, a medium roast. 44 Magnum is dark roast. If you're a coffee drinker, go out there and buy from those guys because Freedom Fatigues and Caliber Coffee are both veteran-owned businesses. Help out our veterans. I'm one, and I always try to help out the veterans where I can, and these are two excellent companies. All the Freedom Fatigue stuff is made right here in the United States. Caliber Coffee is roasted and sold from right here in the United States. None of that foreign big corporation stuff, like the Green Lady. And then Pinto Ranch, Carhartt, a little bit of everything. And we cannot forget Total Wine and Cigars International, because that's where I get all of my cigars and my spirits from. So go and visit those guys. There's actually links to the cigar and the spirit for this episode in the description. And you can go and be shopping while you're listening. Can't get any better than that. So until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.